When selling your house, it is vital to stay one step ahead of the competition.
So I'm giving 3 homeowners the chance to do just that by looking round each other's houses. And today's snoops leave my sellers speechless, both outside...
Can you see through what you do with it?
...and inside.
I would die.
Which means I've got to get rid of the bright...
Every single room you go in has a lot of pattern.
...and the not very beautiful.
Is there anything actually living in that fish tank? Because you look at it and it's just a bit like la 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 la.
As well as the downright messy.
This room is one of the first rooms that any potential buyer will come into. And look what they're faced with.
But the path to the perfect makeover is never easy.
Could have that one, Jim.
No. No. No.
If you haven't made the space in there for your bit of that, that's your problem.
And all this work in the hope my buyers will bite.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's really nice, yeah. Like, I would never have thought of doing something like that.
Today I'm in Liverpool, where houses spend an average of 8 months on the market, so it's no surprise that these 3 sellers need a bit of help to shift their homes. I'll be whipping them into shape in the hopes that they'll win an offer from my buyers Claire and Simon and their daughter Lily.
Now, I understand you have the dream home. So
Yeah.
why are you moving?
When we bought that house, there was the 2 of us. Now, obviously, there's 3, so that kind of changes
Sure,
what
yeah.
you're looking
It does,
for.
doesn't it?
We're very lucky in that our parents help us out a lot with childcare.
Move closer to the babysitters.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So
We haven't told them that yet.
They don't know that yet. So describe to me your dream house.
Old shell character, but modernised internally.
Got you.
So big ceilings, big windows. We like a lot of light, don't we?
yeah, I think I'd like to be able to have like easy access to the garden as
Yeah.
well. You know, maybe so that while you're inside, maybe in the kitchen,
Yeah.
you can actually see her from
See
the
them,
garden.
yeah.
And
And
you've
run
got
out
that
and-
indoor-outdoor
Correct,
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think with the one that we've got at the moment, we walked in and we just got that feeling that was home.
Yeah.
That you just knew.
We just knew, I think,
Okay.
when we saw that. So I
Wow.
think maybe it is more the feeling of a family home.
Yeah.
To find that perfect family home with character, Simon and Claire have up to £350,000 to spend. I've got 3 properties lined up that I think could be ideal, but to be honest, they could all do with a bit of work before I show them. First up is activity coordinator Karen. She's hoping to sell a detached home to move nearer to work and family, and helping her get sold is lifelong friend Paula.
Your bedroom is you. It's more
Yes.
colourful.
So I've done a
Say
splash
the
of colour
same
in
now.
here, a splash of colour in the other room. And do you know
And
what?
I've got the same
She's
splash
got
of
it in
colour
green.
in my house in green.
I don't like that one.
Shut up.
But anyway.
Oh, you two. Karen enjoys spending time in most of her back garden, but there's one bit round the side.
Oh, it's horrendous, isn't it?
That side is, yeah, it is
Yeah.
horrendous. That needs sorting, definitely. Because that will put people off. It'll put me off.
Karen's colourful house has 4 bedrooms, and with access to the garden straight off the living room, it's got the indoor-outdoor flow buyers Claire and Simon are after. It's on the market for £240,000. My next sellers are Catherine and Jack. With their children Felix and Rory growing fast, they need a house with enough space for them and the toys.
It's hard to keep it tidy, all of it tidy all the time, with 2 small boys who just by their nature make mess wherever they go. So 3 boys who make mess wherever they go.
I think she's talking about you, Jack. In terms of style, Catherine's comfort zone is definitely shades of autumn, whereas Jack is just comfortable letting her decide.
You do have ideas, but generally speaking, it's down to me.
So like browns and tans, because we're both that kind of playful with a splash of colour. You know I don't like flowers now, don't you?
I do.
No flowers.
They frighten you as much as colour, Jack? Catherine and Jack's bland but cluttered family home has 4 bedrooms and a large garden leading off the bright conservatory, which should appeal to buyers Claire and Simon. It sits in the middle price-wise at £250,000. My final couple is furniture lecturer Jim and his wife Michelle. Now a retired teacher, Michelle's got a passion for wallpaper in all shapes and sizes.
We've had some wallpapers. We've had everything from gingham to stripes. Most of the time I'm quite happy to go along with what she says, and I'm too polite to say even if I don't like it.
Wallpaper's got so much more character, and it just tells you so much more than a plain wall painted.
As much as he wants to please his wife, Jim knows the wallpaper could be a sticking point for buyers.
It's reflecting your style when people need to see through our style and see what the house has got to offer for them, because they're going to be the next custodians of this wonderful building.
You after my job, Jim? Michelle and Jim's 4-bed wallpaper-heavy house has the period features Simon and Claire are after and a decent-sized garden. But at £260,000, it's the most expensive of the three. So it's Karen's colourful house with the forgotten side garden, Catherine and Jack's cluttered family home with the brown and beige decor, and Michelle and Jim's period wallpapered house, all hoping to get an offer from my buyers. Now it's time for them to take a sneaky peek at their rivals' homes. Now this could be a real eye-opener and give them ideas to take back to their own properties, which would ultimately give them the edge over the competition. First to open its doors is Karen's house. There are a couple of areas that really let Karen's house down, not least the dumping ground to the side of the house. But this home is as bright and forthright as its owner.
Nice.
Yeah, oh, it's a bit bigger than ours.
Looks quite nice and neat on the outside.
Inside, Michelle should feel right at home in the living room.
Don't know about the wallpaper.
Flowers.
It's a bit patterned. Bit loud.
Ah, so you see that wallpaper isn't always to everyone's taste.
Oh no, I like this kitchen.
This is a very you kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I like the fact that all the tops are completely clear of stuff.
Yes.
And ours aren't. Ours are a mess.
You've hit the nail there, Jack. Outside, most of the garden looks great, but round the side...
What's all this here?
Wow. I just don't. Can you see through what you do with it?
Great space, but it's kind of going to waste, isn't it? You'd try and do something with it if you could.
You sure would. Back inside...
Oh, master bedroom.
Yeah. More flowers. I would die.
Yeah, you wouldn't like that. The wallpaper would really put me off.
But at least there's personality here. Next door in Karen's son's bedroom, on the other hand...
This looks like a man's room.
With the fridge and the telly.
The carpet's a bit of a turn off.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a mess, isn't it? I think that was a fish tank.
It just feels a bit unloved in here.
You're not wrong there, but this house is the cheapest of the three, on the market for £240,000.
Seems a fair price for what it is. Yeah. Still a bit of a project at that price though, I think.
I'm not sure I would go to 240 knowing what we've done to ours and having to then do that to this.
So mixed thoughts on the price, but there doesn't seem to be many lessons being learned about their own places. Come on guys, don't get complacent. Next house up for a snoop is Catherine and Jack's. This house is teeming with life and it's a real family home, but it's a bit of a rabbit warren with a confused and cluttered layout. Sort that out and what lies underneath is a warm and cosy home.
Ah, modern. It's a modern house.
The location's nice and quiet, and it's got a good size front, actually, hasn't it? So you get a couple of cars on, which is good, so that's good.
Yeah. Inside, the first room you come to is the family playroom.
It's quite narrow and small.
It looks very cluttered and...
Does, yeah. But if you've got children, that's what you'd expect, isn't it?
Not in my house. And in the living room...
Nice curtains, it all tones in, all blends in well. Yeah, I think the decor's nice.
Because there's no patterned wallpaper, perhaps?
I think there's a dining room table in here.
Yeah, but they've got it out there, haven't they?
It just seems a bit of a waste of space, that. And have more of a use of the conservatory, yeah.
Yep, the layout's confusing everyone.
Oh, it's a nice space, isn't it?
Oh, it's a nice garden.
Yeah, I see the family house becomes the family garden, which is nice. So you can see that, can't you? It's nice and peaceful.
And no hard hat required, unlike your place. Upstairs in the bedroom.
Ah.
Right, now this looks a bit dark. It's not calming. And I think you want to be calm when you come into your bedroom.
It's just dark, isn't it?
Yeah, very dark.
And the darkness is just closing it all in. It's like, whoa.
This house is on the market for £250,000.
250? Yeah, I could get that for this. I don't think it's...
It's 4-bedroom, nice area.
Yeah. It's a modern house, and I wouldn't really be interested. I wouldn't look at anything like this at all.
That's as maybe, but at least Karen has seen the appeal of a well-kept garden, and Michelle and Jim are starting to appreciate a less strident decor. And it's their wallpapered house we're at last. They've gone for some very adventurous style choices here, particularly with their wallpaper. And while I admire Michelle and Jim's bravery, high design can sometimes be rather overwhelming and for a lot of people, a little bit off-putting.
It looks nice from the outside.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
They're well kept, looked after.
Garden's a bit small, Karen, do you think?
Well,
As soon as they get inside, they're all hit by Michelle's passion for wallpaper.
yeah, I think it's just a bit too busy.
I'm not so keen on the wallpaper.
No. Flowers.
It's a bit silvery.
Flowers.
And there's more to come, lots more, even in the kitchen.
It all seems to be one colour though, in here.
What do you mean?
Well, it's all creams, isn't it? And
Yeah, but you're Mrs. Cream.
well, I am, but I like colour with it.
Hold that thought for your own place, Catherine. In the bedrooms, there's yet more paper.
Like I say, the wallpaper looks busier over there than it does there, but it's the light. But again, it's quite busy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good size, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't mind the wallpaper, funny enough.
Next door, there's a rather neglected single bedroom, and there isn't even any pattern on the walls. Shock.
It's not a bedroom at the moment, is it?
It's a stuff room.
Yeah.
Training bike, bird box.
Does a single bed fit in? That is the question you would
small.
ask. Just needs to be defined a bit more. That's what I'd probably say.
What the room is.
Yeah.
This house is being marketed for £260,000.
It doesn't have the layouts that we have. We've got quite a lot more rooms and space, it feels like.
I think ours is obviously set on its own, it's set back, and it's just a different style of house.
I'm in South Liverpool, where my buyers Simon and Claire want a home to raise their daughter Lily in.
We're looking for something that we can invest time and money in, something that we can stay in probably for a good 20, 25 years plus.
I've lined up 3 houses, but after snooping round each other's homes, the sellers have had a chance to size up the competition and rethink their own places too.
I think ours are not on for enough. I think we're getting robbed.
Yeah, I think regardless of what pricing and stuff, we're probably at the top at the moment.
Our house, lots of patterned wallpaper. Maybe we need to rethink on that area.
Glad you're thinking that, Jim, as that will make my job a lot simpler. And my first target is the metallic wallpapered bedroom. So, Michelle and Jim, I think it's safe to say we are a lover of wallpaper.
Oh, yeah. She does love it.
She? Is that, I was going to say, do you both love it, or is it more Michelle?
Michelle's the queen of wallpaper.
Makes it more of a home rather than a house.
Yeah, you're preaching to the converted. I love wallpaper, I think it's fantastic. But every single room you go in has a lot of pattern going on. So I think it would be rather lovely just to take some of the pattern out of some of the rooms, this being one of them.
Right.
When you walk in here at the moment, there's an enormous amount of brown here.
Right.
Brown wardrobes, brown bedspread, brown headboards, brown sideboards, brown. How would you feel about painting those wardrobes?
I could live with it.
Could you?
I could live with it if it's going to bring a fresh feel.
Painting wardrobes like that can give it a completely different look and a very new lease of life.
Right.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is your ceiling. Maybe even if you want to indulge in your wallpaper fetishes, you could put some wallpaper up on here, some kind of patterned wallpaper. Is that an idea that you've ever thought of?
I've not really thought of it myself, but I think it would be really good. It's just quite difficult to wallpaper a ceiling.
Yes. Get a man in. Anyway, one more room I wanted to talk about, and that is the room down there. So should we go through? Ah, the box room. The poor, neglected, forgotten box room. When you're showing your house, every single room has to be spot on. How good are you at knocking up beds, Jim?
I've done it in the past.
Because I think what would be lovely, if you could, I know it's your dressing room as well, but either buy a bed or build a bed. In here, I'm thinking you could go for greens, sort of soft, muted greens, or even sort of ferns. You know, I know how much you love a wallpaper. Either of those tickle your fancy, so to speak?
She does like a patterned wallpaper.
I know she
and
does.
Something with a woodland theme. She's
You're all over it. Yeah, perfect. Now, did you make this, Jim?
No.
Well, just checking. Because I was going to say, it's a bit something and nothing. It doesn't sort of leap out at you and go, ooh. One thing that you could do with it is spray paint it or conventionally paint it. And then you can, I've just pre-cut some of these just to give you an idea because I know how much you love your wallpaper. So you cut it to size and you use a spray mount adhesive, something like that. Yeah. Spray it onto the back and then you just stick it on like so. And you could play around with it. You could just do the 2 door panels or you could do the 2 drawers. Sorted.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
There's a nice little project for you. You'll come back, Jim, from work, and Michelle will have wallpapered the entire house and all the furniture in it.
Given the opportunity.
I love the fact that they are very brave and bold with their choices of wallpaper, but what I find really strange about this house is the one room, the master bedroom, that needs the wow factor just doesn't have it at the moment, and if they get that sorted, could be onto a winner.
I quite liked all of Amanda's ideas, really. I think the bedroom with the wallpaper on the ceiling will be really interesting.
So Michelle is off to do what she loves best, buy more wallpaper. Deep breath, Jim.
Oh, could have that one, Jim.
No. 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 No.
Step away from the patterns, Michelle.
We'll get a piece of that one and we can stick that on the ceiling and see what it looks like.
We played this game before. You once started with 15 pieces of...
I don't think I had 15, Jim.
It was 15. I carried them home.
Sounds like it scarred you, Jim.
Now you see, I like that. Don't you think that'd look good on the ceiling?
No, I think it'd drive me crazy looking up at that.
If you think that the bed's going to be plain, the walls are going to be plain, and the curtains are going to be plain.
It's a convincing argument, and £130 later, Michelle's got her way.
I'll go and get it.
Next, I'm with Karen. I know she enjoyed checking out her competitors' gardens, so hopefully she'll have the incentive to tackle her own.
So ladies, looking at the other houses, I know that you picked up on how important gardens are.
Yeah, I did. I did, because obviously it's recreational and you like to sit out there and the peace and the quiet.
Yes. Do you sit out here in the peace and the quiet?
No. We tend to step over things or ignore things.
Or tread on things.
Say no more.
You're obviously battling the road noise there, and I know that you've got a train track there, but you could still use this space. The first job here is clearing it out.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
That doesn't hold me with too much fear. I think it's what we do with it thereafter.
So you could go to town, you could paint brightly coloured pots, you could put lots of flowers out here. I mean, I would have said turf it and lawn it, but that would cost an absolute fortune. But mulch would work, gravel would work. You know the community gardens and the projects that when you get the whole communities together and they sort of make over a piece of scrubland or take inspiration from that. You've got so many old pots and pans and paint pots and all sorts in here. Make use of the picnic bench that you've got languishing in the back there and just make it a really lovely area.
Something as simple as repainting Karen's old wheelbarrow could turn it from an eyesore into an ornament.
Can of spray paint, really easy to use. Give it a good shake for a minute. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, which we are. Make sure you're not wearing crisp white linen trousers like you are. The trick to this is long, even strokes. Then you could either fill it with lots of bedding plants, lovely bright geraniums, or just keep all the logs in it, because I think the logs look rather good.
Good.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
You can go crazy with a spray can.
Absolutely.
I'll do that. Yeah. That's your job, mine. Yeah.
So the garden's not phasing them. Now I want to talk to Karen about her son Stuart's bedroom.
What do you think this room says to potential buyers?
It's nondescript, isn't it, really? It's just, and it's very, I'd say, very grubby.
Yes. The carpet needs to go. The fish tank. Is there anything actually living in that fish tank now?
A rock.
A rock?
If you look very closely, there is little things doing that.
Because you look at it and it's just a bit like la 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 la. I thought that this would work really well. I'm really glad your son's at work. As a kind of nautical room, you could paint it a blue, like a cornflower blue or something like that, but then use your accessories. So maybe like a blue and white stripy bed spread, maybe a mirror with a rope around it. Do you think he would have a complete hissy fit if we went down that route or not?
For the purpose of to brighten the room up, I think he'd probably get. And if it was just fresher with the carpet, I think he'd go with it. You know.
Yeah. Different carpet, fresh walls, new bed linen.
Yeah.
And do something with that rock.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, Karen has two major battles on her hands this week. One is to clear that wasteland and transform it into a beautiful garden.
But the biggest one, and the one that I think is going to be most challenging, is trying to persuade Stuart to change his bedroom.
Yeah. Definitely in the garden, that's something that we know that's not gonna, it's gonna put buyers off, isn't it, basically?
It is. It is a mess.
It put me off if I walk round and seeing that.
Absolutely, yeah. And it puts me off, and I live here.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's saying something. Resolved to make the changes in the garden, Karen and Paula have found a bombed-out old church in the city that's a great example of what can be reclaimed with a little time and imagination.
I think it's very peaceful, even though it's like a bit chaotic outside. You can hear all the traffic.
Just trying to get ideas for your garden, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And there's things that you can use. You've got loads of pots.
Yes.
You could do things like that.
I can upcycle.
Upcycling's great, Karen, but there's a lot more besides in your garden. Finally, I'm at Catherine and Jack's. On the Snoops, they appreciated the lack of clutter in their rivals' homes, so I'm hoping they're ready to make space for new ideas in their playroom. So guys, having looked at the other houses, I think one of the things that you both realised when you came back is clutter is not a great selling point when it comes to trying to shift your house.
It was good to go into rooms that just felt more airy and spacious, and you can imagine turning it into whatever you wanted if you were to move in.
This room is one of the first rooms that any potential buyer will come into. And look what they're faced with.
Yeah, there's a lot in here.
There is an awful lot in here. Think about maybe putting something like a day bed with extra storage underneath it. You've got that lovely fireplace, because that's just obscured at the moment. Your goal is to get half of it gone. Keep one of these units, put the other unit into storage. Doable?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah, no, we can do that.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
So this was one of the areas that I wanted to talk to you about, as well as that area. What do you use that space for?
Nothing.
Storing things.
Storing things. I think what would work really well here is for you to clear that space out, put your dining table in there, and then turn this space into a family hangout zone, I guess. Think about maybe a sort of rattan sofa or a nice brightly coloured sofa there with a lovely sort of trunk or a chest that, again, you can put some of the boys' toys and things in. How do you feel about painting these walls, lightening them up a bit?
First time round we did it in a cream colour, and it just washed the whole place out because the units are light and it just looked awful.
Maybe something like, you know, apple green or some kind of bright ping of green. I think it could look fantastic out here, but get that table out, put it in there, get a nice big sofa here. Next, I want to tackle the bedroom that's all shades of an autumn day, a very dark autumn day. What do you think this room says to any potential buyer that's coming in?
There's space in here. It's very dark though.
So you can see that, can't you?
Yeah, I can.
Can you see that?
No. But I don't do colours.
It just makes it feel much darker and much smaller than it actually is. It needs lightening up. I would go for some kind of off-white, maybe with a sort of hint of blue in it. What you want to create in here is an illusion of space and light, and in order to do that, it needs a bit of a rejig. How much of this wardrobe would you say is yours, Jack?
I can show you. It's that
Is
bit.
it that?
No, it's that whole bit. But that's it.
So that's it. That's all you've got.
And the top bit, half of
No,
the top bit.
no, that is my bit.
That's your bit.
Don't
So
try and
what about
find
the
it.
chest of drawers?
1.5 drawers.
Right. So I need you to think about getting rid of one of the pieces. Do you think you could declutter your stuff?
I think so. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
This is a fantastic family home, but it does have an awful lot of stuff in it, and I worry that that will be putting potential buyers off. They need to have a major declutter.
I think we'll struggle with all the suggestions. We might have to prioritise and see how far we get, but we'll certainly give it a good go.
First job should be an easy one, as they set to clearing out and moving the wardrobes, but it seems Jack's not as guilt-free as he claims.
You told Amanda that all your stuff was in there, and a lot of it's in here.
That's...
Look, there's coats.
That's... Oh, is that where that went? There, look, tidy.
And what about the bottom?
No, this is about emptying here.
And this?
Yeah, but it's about making space in here for that.
Yeah,
Well, I've made the space in there for my bits of that.
Okay.
If you haven't
What
made the
about-
space in there for your bit of that, that's your problem.
Now, these are all yours as well up
Oh,
here.
OK, fine, yeah, they're mine.
Ah, marital bliss. Three sellers in South Liverpool have been checking out each other's homes. Inspired by what they've seen, they've now started making changes to their own places in the hope of winning over buyers Simon and Claire.
What we like is, in terms of style, is nice light colours, nothing too patchy, a bit roomy and airy to give the feel of space.
At Michelle and Jim's wallpapered house, they're prepping the neglected box room.
This is the bit I'm good at. I'm not good at putting it up.
Some people use the steamer, but I think it's quicker to actually wet the walls. It gets the floor really wet, but I just prefer to do it that way.
And the wallpaper queen would know.
I think during the years I've seen, in the time we've been together, I think Michelle's had every single hairstyle in the book, and we've probably had every different coloured and patterned wallpaper that known to man or beast on these walls. Oh, the yellow and green, it was like lemon and lime. It was of its time. Lemon and lime of its time, yeah.
Well, thank goodness times change. In the forgotten garden at the side of Karen's house, her son Stuart is hoping to salvage some hidden potential buried under 10 years of rubbish.
10 years. But I'll give a bit of TLC on that and that'll be all right. It looks worse than it is. It looks a lot worse. Only take a day to do this.
They've hired a skip for £140. After a hard day's graft, Karen's home to inspect.
Look at this! The difference!
It'd be a waste to take all the stones up and put them in a skip.
I'll bring some more stones in that can blend, and then hopefully it will look presentable.
Good plan. Back at Catherine and Jack's, the clutter clearing continues, this time in the playroom.
Giving away things that they've grown out of is quite sad, but you never know, I might have to be a bit more ruthless. Captain America's got to stay.
Maybe he can help tidy up. Finally able to see the room, it's time to decorate. Catherine's chosen striped wallpaper, a clever move as it suits the room both as a boys' play space and as a more grown-up reception room.
Well, my day job is so different to this. This is just nice to do something practical on my own. And you can see an immediate result if it goes well.
Wallpaper sorted, next it's a family outing to buy soft furnishings. And something strange has come across designer-phobe Jack.
He's talking more about colour than I've ever heard him talk about colour before.
Is that teal?
Yes, that's teal. Cool. The one in the corner's teal, well done. See, you are getting there.
And it's not just Jack who's got ideas.
It's a big flower. Not going anywhere near that.
Well said, Jack. Back at Michelle and Jim's, most of the wallpaper's now gone from the master bedroom. And on a roll, they've decided to go one step further than I suggested.
We decided that we were going to take the paper off because we didn't like the paper. We thought the pattern was too much. I know it's extra work, but we think if we're doing the upstairs, we might as well do all the work at once.
All in all, it's costing them an extra £150 for the decorator, but I think it's worth doing. And outside in the garden, Jim is saving money by upcycling the box room cupboard himself.
Don't worry if it doesn't look like it's covering it. It's quite fluid.
Well, I quite like the distressed look anyway, rather than the...
Yeah, it's probably about half as distressed as we are actually doing it.
You look a picture of calm, Jim. At Karen's, Stu has finished excavating the garden and it's time to empty his own room.
There was snails in there. They was called turbo snails, but now they're sleeping snails. You know, they're not alive now, non-existent.
Sounds like a Monty Python sketch, but while the snails have shuffled off this mortal coil, Stu's still figuring out how he'll live with the plans for a nautically themed room.
I didn't really plan on being a sailor. I can't really see it fitting in with my lifestyle, really, or my personality.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find your sea legs, and with a bit of paint, he's already coming round.
In comparison to what it was before, 10 times better. It just should have been done a bit sooner, I reckon.
Couldn't agree more, Stuart. And finally, a fresh carpet for £115, including fitting.
I think it just looks great. I think we're getting that nautical look I'm supposed to get.
Aye, aye, Captain. Back at Catherine and Jack's now clutter-free home, Rory and Felix are lending some muscle in the conservatory.
You're not making this any easier, Felix.
While Catherine works to brighten the dark master bedroom with a new shade on the walls, but she's having second thoughts.
As a colour, it's a very nice colour. Just not convinced it's the right colour for my walls. However, I do love the wallpaper in here that we've chosen, and it does go well with that. So on that basis, we will carry on regardless.
Next door, Jack's come up with a plan to save some cash.
So this is the mattress from Rory's spare bed, and it's the same size as the mattress on the daybed.
They bought the daybed for £180, but are hoping not to have to spend an extra 80 quid on the mattress.
There we are. Perfect. It's too short.
Oh dear. At Michelle and Jim's, she's finished painting in the box room and is now hanging the feature wallpaper.
I think once we've got the bed in here, people can see that it's got a proper use.
Next door in the master bedroom, all that's left is wallpapering the ceiling, and they've hired a professional to tackle that. It's doubly hard to hang the paper straight when you're working against gravity. Fold it in small concertina-style pleats to make the wet paper easier to handle. You can ask a friend to use a broom to support the paper while you work.
I think it looks great, yes, very happy. I just hope it's got the dramatic effect that Amanda wanted.
I think it's stunning, Michelle. At Karen, she's forked out 200 quid for a shed to make sure the garden stays neat and tidy.
I didn't think you could put a shed up so quick. It was so quick when they done it, but it's brilliant, isn't it? It's the first time I've had a shed in years.
And she's roped in friend Paula to help finish off out here.
I found these plenty of pots that I'd forgotten I'd had. They were buried deep. Very good. So we're going to get some plants in.
So we're filling them now.
We're going to fill them. You're going to do
the barrel.
You've got the wheelbarrow.
The wheelbarrow,
yeah,
that's fine. I'll get that out the way.
I'm just thinking I've got to use that, and I'm going to be out the road with a big bright orange wheelbarrow.
And bright orange clothes if you keep standing downwind. Upstairs, Stuart's bedroom is nearly finished too.
I think it's brilliant. There's no big ships on the wall or anything, or there's no life buoys on the wall hanging. It's nice.
I think when the buyer comes in, they will love it.
Previously, Stuart's bedroom lacked, well, pretty much anything really, with its bare walls, dirty carpet and empty aquarium. Now, for a total cost of around £315, he's got the subtle nautical theme I was aiming for, clean and timeless and much more appealing.
What an incredible transformation.
Do you like it?
It's brilliant. It's a nice, calm environment now, whereas before it just felt a little bit grungy and a little bit student-like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It's just a different room. I feel like I've walked into a different room.
Yeah. Now, this was a big job, but this is nothing compared to the mountain that you had to move quite literally in the garden.
Absolutely.
Can we go and look at the garden now?
Oh,
if that's
absolutely,
all right?
yeah.
But well done, top marks on this
Thank
one.
you.
Wonderful.
The side of the house looked like landfill, but with a major tidy up and a little imagination, they've made the most of the space and shown off its potential, and all for just under £650.
Are you impressed, Amanda?
I am really impressed. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Are you impressed with it?
I'm impressed with it, yeah, completely. It wouldn't put me off now. Before, I wouldn't have bought the house because of the garden.
And just the little pops of colour, it just goes to show that you don't need to go enormously crazy. Few pots, few little plants. You've got your shed.
The shed.
That was
do you know, it's the little things in life that bring you the most pleasure, and that shed was one of them. I might just sit in it myself. I'm so happy with it.
Turn it into a summer house. At Catherine and Jack's, yet another room has lost its shades of autumn, as Jack's painted the conservatory the apple green colour I suggested.
I think the house is looking better. It's being showed off to its best, really. So yeah, I think we're in with a good chance.
They've also finished sorting out the messy playroom, turning it into a bright family space.
What a beautiful playroom. What do the boys think of it?
They like it, and they like the idea that they can sit there, TV, PlayStation,
Yeah.
you know, so no, it's great.
Next door in the dining room, the table now takes its rightful place. And where the conservatory was confused, it's now a bright and inviting family area for everyone to hang out in.
The conservatory, I think, is my favourite bit of the whole lot, because I think that really has transformed that area
Absolutely.
in terms of what it's used for.
Yeah. I guess you've not had time to use it properly yet, have you? Because you've been too exhausted.
No, not in the slightest.
Can't wait to sit there with a glass of wine, looking out in the garden.
It's wonderful. Can we go look at the master bedroom? Let's go look.
The master bedroom felt dark and narrow. After spending a total of £180 on paint and wallpaper, it feels light and airy and much more relaxing.
I know you're not sure about the colour, are you? Or you weren't sure, now it's gone up on the walls, are you still not sure, or is it growing on you?
On its own as a paint, I probably wouldn't have chosen it, but actually, together with the whole thing, I think it works really well.
I do think it feels bigger.
Yeah.
You know, so I think in terms of showing off the room, selling, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you want, that's what it's all about. But well done, top marks, really, really impressed.
Thank you.
At Michelle and Jim's, Michelle is wallpapering again, though this time she's just finishing the doors on the box room cupboards.
Just making sure it matches up at the top.
They've worked hard all week and gone above and beyond my suggestions, tackling the dining room as well.
Believe it or not, we're leaving this house in the best ever condition that it's been.
It might not even be to your liking, but if you improve your property, I think you've got a better chance of selling it.
Michelle and Jim's bedroom was bland and tired. Now with the cupboards and walls painted and the wallpapered featured ceiling, it's got a real wow factor. Total cost, about £800.
That's a very bold paper, but it works so well, doesn't it? That's the rebellious streak in me. I will have something in here if it kills me. So you're gluttons for punishment, aren't you? Because not only did you tackle the master bedroom and the box room, but you also thought you would do the dining room as well.
We thought, if we're getting the rest done, we might as well.
I couldn't live with it.
Right.
It was me that instigated.
Oh,
Let's
was
do
it?
the bedroom. Michelle would have been quite happy.
I think you've done a wonderful job. Box room's the next place I want to go. Can we go have a look at the box room?
Sure. After you ladies.
I'm having a little peek. Look, I can already see the upcycled cupboard.
The fourth bedroom was just another forgotten box room. Now it's one of the most appealing in the house. Although they've paid for it, spending over £1,000 in total, of which over £700 was on soft furnishings, including the daybed, which cost £420. Good job they took my advice to upcycle the cupboards, as that cost next to nothing.
I think this might be my favourite. How clever and subtle wallpaper. Not all the way round. How did we cope with that? Because I know once you get going with a bit of wallpaper, you want to do the whole lot.
Well, I don't mind a feature wall, but I think because it's a bit classic, it goes really well with the green.
And the daybed works really well.
Oh, I love the daybed.
I love the sort of eclectic mix of doorknobs as well. You've not gone for the same, and you've changed them on the daybed as well, haven't you?
That's right, yeah.
You've just transformed it. It's beautiful. It really is.
I'm in South Liverpool, where my buyers Simon and Claire are looking for a home where they can raise their family.
We love our current house. We've spent a lot of time and money getting it to how we want it, but now we've got a 2.5-year-old and it's just been nicer to be closer to our families.
It's now time for them to see the 3 houses, after the owners have spent a week making them over. Karen has reclaimed some forgotten spaces.
We'll have achieved what we set out to do, and hopefully Amanda will be pleased and we'll have a buyer.
Michelle and Jim have toned down their wallpapered house.
I wouldn't say that we've got it in the bag because I think our house is different than the other 2 houses.
And Catherine and Jack have cleared the clutter and ditched the bland.
We've put a lot of work into it, and it's. I think the house is looking better. It's being showed off to its best.
So now it's time to see what Simon and Claire think, and we're starting at Catherine and Jack's.
So I know you might think I've gone crazy by showing you a modern house when you said you didn't really like modern houses, but the reason I'm showing you this is that it's a really good family home. Initial impressions.
Initial impressions are it's detached, which is nice. Decent sized driveway, looks well presented from the front, so yeah, I'm interested to see.
Area.
Okay, well let's get inside and see what you think.
Yeah,
come on in.
Inside, the playroom and study now make a much better first impression.
Do you like it?
Yeah,
Very
it is.
airy,
It's really nice. I like the decor as well, all the colours, and yeah, it's really pretty.
Gives you your own space as well, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And it's not too far from the main living bit either, which is nice.
Across the hallway, the dining room leads into the kitchen and bright new family area.
This is a lovely little family area.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah.
And I know you were saying about sort of wanting to cook and still being able to see your daughter playing and things, go straight out onto the garden. What do you think?
But I think
it's nice.
We've always said no to sort of conservatories, but this doesn't feel like a conservatory. Yeah, it's nice and bright, and like you could imagine yourself kind of sitting out here and popping into the kitchen.
Doors open.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Right, let's get upstairs and look at the master bedroom.
Brilliant.
Upstairs, the master bedroom has gone from night to day.
What do you think?
Now, I know I said I didn't like wallpaper, but I actually really like what they've done there.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, I think it's a nice
in the
pattern
wall.
and it's a nice feature, I think, of the room. Yeah, I really like that.
So do you think, looking at
a modern house has made you sort of maybe rethink the idea, or are you still stuck on the old original features?
I think it has made us rethink, and we will consider that more and broaden that search.
Let's talk price. So how much do you think this one is on the market at? Bearing in mind the area and the size.
So I would go with around 250.
Yeah, I think maybe 250.
Spot on. Okay, we're off to a good start then.
Yeah,
Should we go and look at something slightly older now?
Brilliant.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
Right, out we go. Next house is Michelle and Jim's. Now, I think that this house has a lot of what you're looking for. Beautiful original features inside. It's absolutely fantastic. What do you think of the outside of it?
It looks really nice and well maintained. Lovely road.
Well built and solid, yeah.
Yeah. Downstairs, the newly decorated dining room leads straight to the kitchen.
That's great, yeah. I think it's definitely more our style, isn't it? Our style of house.
It feels like a home, doesn't it? Rather
Yeah,
than...
no, it's really nice.
So it's got potential?
Yeah, I think definitely.
Should we look at the rest of the house? Should we go upstairs?
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
Next stop is the master bedroom that's gone from bland to boutique.
Oh, wow.
There you go, that's what we want when you walk in. Good wow or bad wow? No, I know you're a massive
good wow, yeah.
fan of the wallpaper.
No,
wow. But it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it is,
really nice. Like, I would never have thought of doing something like that. Really nicely dressed as well, like all
very
the
nice.
accent colours.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Because that's what we want. You want the wow in the master bedroom,
Yeah.
don't you? These are all very positive noises. Let's hope the wows continue in the box room.
I love it. Really
It's
nice.
it's really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Could you imagine yourselves living somewhere like this?
I think it's
Yes,
one of
we could,
those
yeah.
houses where you could actually move in as it is, but then if you wanted to at a later point, you could actually put your own stamp on it.
How you were bang on with the modern house. How much do you think this one is on at?
So I think about 274,950.
I think about 269.
Both wrong. 260.
Oh, right,
Yeah, so
that's-
price very reasonable.
Yeah. Well, I think we should continue the journey because we still have one more to have a look at. Should we do that?
Yeah.
They seem impressed, but I'm not finished yet. Karen's place is last. So through the gates, again, off-road parking, which I know you wanted. It's a lovely big house, this, with lots and lots of space. Initial first impressions.
It's really nice. I like the look of it.
Inside, the large living room overlooks the garden.
Yeah. No, it's nice.
No, it is
big
nice, yeah, I
room.
like it.
But
I like the
listen-
fact that it looks out onto the garden. And I like the skylight and kind of like feeling a space through that bit there.
Would you like to have a little look outside?
Yeah.
Outside, through the main family garden, is the newly cleared tip to tranquil side garden. So here's the sort of secret garden, I guess. You've got two sections here. This is obviously at the front of the house, so you do have the noise of the train, thank you very much, Mr. Train, and the road. But I think this would make a great play area.
It's
They
very
don't care about the
enclosed.
traffic.
Yeah, it's enclosed as well, which is nice.
Yeah,
isn't it?
nice
Yeah.
and safe.
It is,
Do you like it? Do you like the whole...
I think it's really pretty and it's really got a nice feel to it. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, no, it's
okay,
really
so we're doing
nice,
well.
yeah.
Should we go and look upstairs as well?
Yeah,
Brilliant. You lead the way. Upstairs, the third bedroom is now a real asset. What do you think?
I think it's really nice.
Good
yeah.
size.
Again, like the picture aisle.
Nice little windows on the side.
Yeah, they're cute little
they are,
features,
Yeah,
aren't
they
they?
are. I think it feels nice and fresh. I think it's like the
does,
colour and it's got that kind of seaside
Yeah.
sort of feel to it.
What do you think this one is being marketed at?
Do you want to have a guess first?
I think maybe 265.
I'd say 285.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay.
240.
Oh, right. Quite a lot lower than we thought. Yeah, that's really good.
It's a lot of house for your money.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a very sort of sizable house for the money, isn't it?
Lots of things to think about then.
yeah.
Should we go find somewhere cosy to sit down and talk about all three of them?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Let's see if any of our sellers have made the right impression. So it's been a whistle-stop tour, 3 very different properties. So we'll start with the modern family home with the conservatory.
Probably a little bit too modern, but I think it was very well priced. And I think it's good value for somebody who wants to move there.
It's a great house, isn't it? Wallpaper house. Now, I know when
Correct,
you said to me when we first walked in there, I've got a nice feeling about this one.
There was a lot of love in the home. It was like the rooms were nice sizes. And it just had a really nice feel to it,
Good
didn't
features, yeah. Good features and very welcoming.
And then the last house that we saw, the detached house with the 2 gardens. I get the feeling that you really like that one.
Yeah, I did like that house. I think it was quite handsome. I think we could put our own stamp on it.
So looking at all 3 of them, is there any of them that you will go back and revisit, or will you continue the search, or where do you stand now?
I think we'll broaden the scope, but I think the second house, like when we got our last house, we went round another 5 or 10 and came back to that house.
Okay.
So I still think it is a potential.
All right then.
But I think we need to just
Have
look a
at
bit
few
more, yeah.
So shall I watch this space? You never know. You might come full circle and end up back in the wallpaper house.
And then ask you to sell it for us in 10 years'
That's absolutely fine. I can come back in 10 years and do that with my Zimmer frame. Good luck with it. You will find it eventually. The perfect house is out there somewhere, I'm sure.
No, thanks very much.
So Claire and Simon aren't going back for a second viewing just yet, but Michelle and Jim are happy their hard work put them at the top.
That's very, very positive.
Yes, very good.
Doesn't detract in any way for the amount of effort that we've put in. And we're still pleased with the results. So yeah, that's positive news.
Whilst the other two sellers are left slightly disappointed as to why theirs weren't the pick of the day.
At the end of the day, if it's not what people want, it's not what people want.
It's a personal choice, isn't it? Depends what your agenda is and what's on your list to say.
A bit disappointing, really. I thought he'd gone for this one. I think.
Disappointed? Not really, because you know why? I got a shed. What could I say?